following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Welcome to Bare Their Souls on the Barroom Network. Thank you for spending Wednesday night with the three of us, just the three of us.
Pretty sure it's Three's Company.
Although stopped by to say hello, that he's getting back to watching some porn. This is Bare Their Souls.
All right,
well, after all.
Thanks for the image. I did not need that, but
well, we do have a list of stuff to talk about, but we, with the news today, Mayor Johnson's last attempt to block Eddie Bear's move from Soldier Field. Man, I got to get your guys' thoughts on this. I'm kind of rooting for the Bears to stick to the state a little bit now. It's like, come on, can't we all get along? Daniken, thoughts?
Man, I mean, it's a joke, man. You know what I mean? They're trying to block it now. I read a headline where it said that they were determined to stop the Bears from doing something. It's like, you know what I mean? Where was all this months and months, years ago even? You know what I mean? You might say. So it's just it's a joke, man, to me, to see the mayor and so many others that are really trying to, change the plan or thwart it or, whatever they want to do. It's crazy, man. I don't know what to say about it. I really don't. We've been talking about it quite frequently. And, it's something we got to talk about because it is in the news and it's there. But, man, you just hate to see it happening over and over and over again.
Yeah, I've said for a long time, I'm rooting for the Bears to have a home of their own, like a lot of NFL franchises. And right. I think it can only help the team compete better with other NFL franchises in the NFL landscape. A lot of teams own their stadiums and they own the revenue, and it's time that Illinois and Chicago hosted a Super Bowl, Chicago area. I've said for a long time, it's like if you watch the Hobbit trilogy, they're like the dwarves of Erebor. They're trying to get a home of their own, but we've gone so Bears, the charter franchise, the NFL, have never had their own stadium. It's like 100 years. So not how long. What 100 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2021 was the 100.
Renting it out. You know what I mean? Renting from the city and stay. It's just stupid.
Well, but as I mentioned before, they're not alone in that. Something like 25 or 26 NFL franchises rent or lease their stadium. The difference in the Bears is that they rent it from the city they play in, not from private ownership. And that is why, the field itself is so much worse, I think, than other stadiums because the funding is going to, bringing in multi-generational artists to play these concerts there rather than maintaining the grounds and so on and so forth.
You're saying it's not just the Bears that use the stadium, correct?
Exactly. And if the Bears had control over who used the stadium, it would be different because they would have their own grounds crew and everything. Whereas right now the Parks District is the one maintaining everything. And it's frustrating because it's just being mismanaged. And that's the big thing that I think it boils down to is that the Bears want control over it. The profits are at the end of the day, the number one goal that they're after here, but by maintaining control, they're able to maximize those profits and put a better product on the field at the same time. And it's frustrating on top of this because, it just feels like it's one step forward and two steps back with the stadium talk every single time, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm getting sick of it too.
I really thought that we were close to crossing the finish line. And I genuinely, with this latest news, I'm suddenly leaning more towards the Hammond, Indiana Bears than the Arlington Heights Bears. Like, I really think that Kevin Warren's going to get pissed off and pull the trigger one way or the other.
Yep. He's just going to say, screw it.
And why wouldn't he? Why shouldn't he? We're already 2 years deep into this project that he wanted to have done. I mean, not done, but ground broken on. And time is money, in a deal where it's expiring in 2033, it becomes financially, maybe not intelligent, but financially, it's not going to strap you, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not going to set you back financially to break this deal in another 4 years now at this point. When you started it, you had 6 years to do it. Okay, that's a year to get the planning process done, 5 years to build the stadium. You're good. That's plenty of time. And those first 3 years, you're going to recoup that money that you would have spent, and then some. But now they're at a point where, like, they're starting to get strapped on the timeline where they're not going to have time to financially recover from it if they don't get shovels in the ground this year. So,
and not only that, but we're sitting here thinking about guys that are coming up for contracts and things like that, and you got Caleb Williams coming up for a contract pretty soon, and if they keep pushing this thing out and not trying to get it done or not getting it done, we're looking at Caleb Williams into year 8, 9, 10 before a stadium is actually built, and we lose profit, we lose money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Behind that, you might as well capitalize on his youth, on the way that the team is rolling right now. You need to capitalize on it, and the only way you do that is by getting it going and pushing it forward right now. So, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that are in play there, and the Bears, I think they're motivated, but the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois is they're just crooked, bro, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And to continue on that point just a little more, if the Bears are truly in this position that is rumored around the league, or I guess around NFL fans, where they're more cash poor, where they have all this valuation and they can theoretically spend all this money, but they don't have the cash to actually do it. Mm-hmm. Well, you're now looking at whether you're in year 2 of a big Caleb Williams deal or year 5 of a big Caleb Williams deal.
Right.
And that's exactly it. What does that do for your cash
they got to get it done.
That's it. Cash flows are a big deal in these kind of things. Like, you have to be able to continue to produce in order to do this. And if you don't own your own stadium, if you don't own your own district, like they're trying to do, it's a lot harder to do these things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is a shame. Arlington Heights to me was sort of the ideal spot. It had a train station stop.
Hell yeah.
It's close to the airport. It's close to a lot of interstates and major highways or roads. It's just the property tax valuation was something that the Bears just couldn't make the business work. Any when you're paying $190 million every year, it kind of eats into your profit margin.
Yep.
When other stadiums like the United Center, I think, is paying something like $3 to $6 million a year in property taxes,
And that's the issue that Illinois lawmakers have made for themselves, that they're now mad about, that they want to fight back against and put the onus on the Bears for, because they made a decision years ago that, I get it. Not all of them were in office and the people voted for it and this, that, and the other thing. But at the same time, the people are voting for this now. And like, the people want this, and it doesn't really matter that you think that they should be paying their fair share of taxes. The precedent has been set now. You don't get to go back and retroactively change things that have already happened. We have that issue happening hand over hand in several other places in our government throughout this country. Like, we all know, once the precedent's been set, that's what case law is for. That's why it exists. So why is this any different? Stop trying to rewrite things, accept the precedent that your predecessor set, and make the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and plus if the Bears do move across state lines, it's Indiana who's going to be making all of that revenue, whether it's income taxes from the players' ginormous salaries, or and any kind of revenue from games, stadiums, local businesses, sales taxes, revenue. But losing all of that revenue, Illinois lawmakers have to to me, I think they're going to have to come to the table and make a compromise, because I just can't see them losing all of that revenue.
I mean, there's a ton of money, man, on the table.
Yeah.
There's a ton of money on the table, and that's the problem. You know what I mean? Everybody's greedy. Nobody wants to share it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't fault the Bears. I don't fault the Bears for being greedy at all, because at the end of the day, it's a business. You have to make as much money as possible so that you can pay staff, so that you can keep facilities up, and so that you can do all these things. You know, if you're not able to get money throughout the year, like all these other stadiums are able to do, and all these other owners are able to do, from the NCAA tournaments to the college football players to concerts to all these different things. You know, like look at Atlanta right now. They've got the FIFA World Cup coming right in June. You know, so it's like they're just gonna reap the benefits of it. Those are the things that the Bears should be able to do at some point in time, and the city is basically blocking it.
You're exactly right. I know Mayor Johnson was quoted saying, "If we're asking anyone to tighten the belts, we should look at whose belt is exploding, and that's the ultra rich." Well, I mean, like Zim said, I don't think the Bears are going to have to borrow money to do all of the things that they want to do to build the stadium. And the thing is that there's a lot of money that's not part of the salary cap that's used to pay staff, coaches, trainers, scouts, janitors. Even building a state-of-the-art training facility where the athletes have everything that they need to compete at the highest level. Yeah, you know, these are all outside, of the cost of what people think is an NFL team making profits.
That's it. It's all assets, right? It's not liquid. Yeah. This isn't things that they just have. They don't just have, the Bears are worth what, like $8 billion. The McCaskey family doesn't just have $8 billion in their banking, in their checking account.
That's the common misunderstanding.
That's it. This is not liquid fund. This is still something that they need to source to create. Yeah. Their grandfather bought this thing for $100 100 years ago. Like, that $100 didn't just magically turn into $8 billion. No, the valuation turned into $8 billion.
Yeah, the franchise has a value, but only when it's sold.
Here.
These what people have to realize too is that there are some people that have money. These owners like Kraft or Jerry Jones, they got oil money. Oil money is deep, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you have
can
oil
leverage
money,
it's different. Yeah,
and you can just it goes on and on and on. This is their hobby. You know what I'm saying?
It's not an investment.
Owning a football team is their hobby. It's what they like to do because they have fun doing it. The Bears are doing it, and that's their main money source. You know what I'm saying? The McCaskies and all of that, they're not oil rich. They're not, you know what I mean? They don't have, money going way back like that, deep pockets like that. So what they're making, and I've said this time and time again, especially when it comes to like contracts and things like that, the Bears, they fight with players because they don't have that liquid assets. Like you have to have, if you go and you offer these people contracts, these players contracts, you have to offer them a contract, but you have to have a certain amount of money in liquid assets available on hand right now. Yeah. Otherwise, you can't make that contract offer. So, that's been the Bears' problem for years. It's well documented. It's time that people just completely understand it. And I think the fans somewhat need to get on board and kind of put a little bit of more pressure on the city and on the state to say, hey, y'all are hindering and slowing up a lot of stuff here. And we understand that you want money too, but everybody's going to benefit from this. But you got to let everybody benefit, not just you.
Yeah, they have operating costs, of which salary cap is one. I mean, the money to pay their salary, the player's salary every game comes from somewhere. It's not
exactly.
It's part of their operational costs. Fitz is here, and we didn't think we were going to be talking stadium, Fitz, but here we are with the latest news. It's starting to get a lot more contentious as Mayor Johnson's attempt to block a Bears move, use whatever political muscle he has in Springfield to block.
I mean, Fitz, you're up there, man. You might as well start reaching out to Johnson. We can't reach, you know what I mean?
Knock on his door.
It's on you, bro.
Slide in my DMs, right?
Ask him if he's got any pizza puffs, you know.
Yeah, bring him some RC and some pizza puffs.
I saw this most recent play, and I don't know what they think they're doing. I mean, does Johnson's approval ratings already bad enough? Does he? Let's say he causes this, and the Bears just say, "Fine, we're going to Indiana." I mean, does he really want that on his plate? You know, he's up for re-election next year,
right?
I would love a Chicago stadium, but I think that time has passed. I just don't think it's there, and you know, I don't know what the thought is behind blocking it at this point. It's crazy.
Look, and some folks are saying tickets used to be $15 in the 80s. Yeah, that was 40 years ago.
When all the stadiums, when all the stadiums, they were $15 in the 80s when all the stadiums had 50,000 people in attendance. But now you have stadiums that have 100,000 people in attendance. The Bears have to jack up the prices because you can only fit 69,000 people in our stadium.
Smallest stadium,
the smallest in the NFL.
That's where the price is
62,500 capacity.
Supply and demand. You know, first of all, $15 in 1980 is approximately $60 in today's money. So
we are over price.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would still drop $60 on a ticket pretty quickly. I regularly do. But all things aside, supply and demand says when 70,000 tickets exist and 3 million people want to go, prices are going to go up.
Again,
it's part of the reason that they need this new stadium. It's not just because Soldier Field is old and dilapidated and the field kind of sucks, because frankly, as far as stadiums go, it's pretty average. I wouldn't say it's good. I wouldn't say it's bad though. It's
improved.
That's it. You know, granted, I've only been there the one time and I was half in the bag most of the time, but hey, I had a great time. And if you have a bad stadium, you feel that. Like, it genuinely detracts from the experience. So the bottom line is they need, you know, one of these 80,000, 90,000 people stadiums that they could genuinely build, like, without batting an eye, if they just had the approval to do it.
Yep.
And Chicago, the city, the state, they do everything the cheap way anyways. I mean, when they remodeled it and redid the renovation and we played in Champaign, Illinois, the renovation was terrible. It's like, why, you know, it was a waste because they skimped on everything. They didn't do it the right way. And now we're at a situation where you need another stadium instead.
And Cook County is still on the hook for millions of dollars from that.
Exactly.
That's why they're fighting it so hard.
Yeah, they want the Bears
on
to
the
play
hook for all that, they wouldn't fight it.
Yeah. The Bears have fulfilled their obligation to the city and the park district, I think, except for the lease. Aside from the lease, they'll have to break.
Again, they've only got 6 more years left on that thing. Like, it's not that insane.
Right.
The way things are going, that's
a lifetime from now in stadium talks.
All right. Well, now we get to it. What's your prediction? What'll happen? Let's go around the horn. Offer up a prediction. Indiana, North, Arlington Heights, somewhere else. What do you think, Zim?
As it stands right now, official prediction. The deal doesn't get done at all. The Bears play through 2033 at Soldier Field, and at that point, they rent an aircraft carrier and begin playing in the middle of Lake Michigan.
I like it. Fitz?
I can't top that. I think they'll end up in Arlington Heights. I
hope so.
Nothing else. I'm just so frustrated by what seeing the post of that they were Johnson's trying to stop this again. It's just like, I wasn't expecting to talk about that part.
We weren't either. Yeah, we got a bunch of other topics.
Yeah, but I think they're going to end up in Arlington Heights. I really do, and that's going to be the end game.
Yeah, my heart says Arlington Heights too. Daniken?
Man, really, to me, the only thing that's holding up the Arlington Heights is the tax, right? So I would say that's the easiest route to go. It's probably easier than Hammond because even though Hammond is giving you a sweetheart deal, they're giving a great deal.
They still wouldn't own the stadium.
Yeah, you still wouldn't own the stadium, and then not only that, but the city doesn't want to lose that money, so they'll try to do what they can to keep them from going to Hammond, Illinois. I mean, Hammond, Indiana, I should say. But I think it's probably Arlington Heights as well. I think that's the easiest route to go. You just they gotta come down off that tax bill. That's it.
Yeah. Mayor Johnson just heard Hammond, Illinois, got an idea. Well, buy Hammond, Indiana, boys. He probably's got no money. Man, I don't know, man. If I had to if we looked on Kalshi right now, I bet you the odds for Hammond are higher now than Arlington Heights. I'm just saying, I don't know what it is. Yeah. Right after today, Hammond odds are probably going up, but Arlington Heights to me is the best and most logical situation for the Bears. The state of Illinois will get increased tax revenue. You just got to come down on the give the all the Bears want are property tax assurances. They're borrowing their own money to build the stadium. They're not asking for money help in building the stadium. They have
and a little bit of infrastructure too.
Yeah, and they're asking for property tax relief and some infrastructure. And if not infrastructure, they pay in lieu of property taxes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know.
Oil refineries, that too.
Oil workers. Yeah. They also want infrastructure. That's right. That's one. That's definitely a sticking point. It's like there's some roads that have to be expanded. I don't know.
Infrastructure seems pretty cheap compared to the Bears moving to Indiana.
Yeah, and the alternative is more.
You hope they do that infrastructure before they start dealing with that stadium, because you got to get that out of the way, man. It's a way to do it, man. They just stop dragging the feet, man. Stop fighting over it.
Yeah, before I was like, the Bears should just start building the stadium. Arlington Heights, they own the land, but you really can't without the property tax insurances, because you may end up losing money paying $190 million a year. How many? So 10 years, that's $2 billion.
Put that in perspective, man. You know what I mean? Like the Bears payroll, right? The salary cap is what, 300 million?
300 million. Yep.
So property, just in property taxes, you'd be paying. Think about that. So think about that plus that's over $500 million basically, that you just to run property taxes and payroll for your players, not everybody else that's involved in the facility and things like that. Coaches,
Brandon Lowe homer,
like you said, everybody else. Oh, he did? Good stuff, man.
Holy shit.
Good stuff. Racking up, man.
We
need to talk, man, offline, man.
I know. All right, so Fitz, you weren't here backstage, but Friday night I played a $4 DraftKings, 3 guys to hit homers, won $542 on Friday. So that's like, I told the guys I've been using AI to pick home runs.
When did you do that? You did that on Sunday or Saturday?
Friday night.
Yeah. So I was gonna say Fitz would have, if that was Fitz, he would have took off Monday and went and got Italian beefs all through the city of Chicago.
So for everybody.
Going on a beef tour.
I started doing it because DraftKings offers a share of $250,000 if one of the players you pick. You could choose up to 3 players, a $5 minimum bet. I started doing that because I wanted a share of $250,000. If your player has to hit a grand slam, and if nobody hits a grand slam, all the money rolls over. And it's like 1.5 million right now.
Wow.
So I was trying to pick a Grand Slam guy, just playing $5.
Murakami's bound to hit one this year.
So
objectively, the White Sox seem to be the team.
Murakami was the last one of the day. You see, Murakami
was in California, so yeah.
So, right. So that day it was against the Padres. So I had first Pete Alonso hits a home run, and I'm like, okay. I was telling my wife, okay, we got some good chance here. Moniak hits a home run in the Rockies game, and I'm like, okay, we're serious here. DraftKings offered me $100 to cash out. I'm like, hell no, on a $4 bet we're riding. We put the White Sox Padres game on Friday. Me, the kids, and my wife were sitting around. And we're like, he comes up in the first inning and makes it out. And then they came back up in the second inning. We're like, okay, he's back up again. And boom, he hits one deep to outfield, man. And my house exploded with the kids, because they all knew it was like going to be like 500 plus the round robin. It was like $10 bet was $731. Dang. So it was like, we're going to Sizzler, dancing around, and took everyone out to eat Saturday. And bought the kids and my wife's whatever they want, clothes or shoes or something,
Yeah.
And then since then, like Saturday, I have 1 out of 3.
Uncle Tooch.
Yeah. Tuesday and Monday, I have 2 out of 3. Tonight, I'm just gonna do 2 guys, Ian Happ and Brandon Lowe, because I'm using Google. Happ hit one already, and Lowe is first at bat. He homers. Boom, $222.
All of a sudden.
I can't believe
his
it.
Screen goes blank. He's gone.
Man, the past 5 days I've won almost like $1,000 on just like $5 bets. Man, that's crazy.
I used to run bets like that every once. I mean, I shouldn't say every once in a while. When I would do baseball bets, it was almost like you would do the 3 inning over under, or was it over unders, or was it pick'ems for 3 inning games? And then I do the 1 inning over unders, which were always fun because the over unders are like 2.5 for the first inning. And you're like, oh man, I don't know.
Yep.
But then I would do home run parlays like you're doing.
Yep.
And the closest I'd get was like 2 out of 4 guys or something like that. And it's just like, man.
Every morning I'm just like, Google, I log into Google AI and I ask them, so which players will like it home run? Then I expand. I'm like, okay, which ballpark's got the wind blowing out and high temperatures, or which pitchers are, struggling and giving up the long ball, which hitters are hot. And then I pick my 3 guys, I've been like this. It's like unreal, the streak. And even Anthony, my partner on Weekend Sports Betting Tips, is like, he's like, I can't believe it. But yeah.
Well, hey, real quick, speaking of betting odds and favorites here, throw a little curveball into the show. A topic we didn't have on the docket, but I want to get your guys' thoughts on it. As it stands right now, Caleb Williams is actually the favorite to be the cover athlete for Madden 27.
Yes.
Expected to be announced in the next couple of weeks who that's actually going to be. Odds on favorites are guys like Josh Allen or Jackson Smith and Jigba. Caleb Williams, though, is at the top right now. Seems like it's not going to be a defensive guy. Seems like it's not going to be a really vet guy unless it's Stafford or Allen. What do you guys think? Would it be what would it mean to have a bear on the cover of Madden?
I pissed Packer fans off more than anything. Just, like poor Pete Bukowski is just gonna have a heart attack, but he's not gonna last till week 1. But it's neat. It's nice having Chicago at the center of the sports world. You think about, the Cubs and Sox are 2 of the hottest teams in baseball. The Bears are, as hot as they've been just nationally in a decade or so. And it's nice having Chicago at the center of all this. It's fun. It makes things just happier around here, while we deal with all the stadium mess.
Yeah, I know the Madden curse is the sword of Damocles hanging over.
Isn't that been broken though?
The Madden curse isn't really a thing anymore.
Okay.
I mean, it never really was, to be honest.
Is it Michael Vick? Was he the big one that went down?
It's like a 50-50 shot. Marshall Faulk was a really bad one. He was on the cover, and then after he was on the cover, he never hit 1,000 yards again in his career. And that was a big one. But yeah, Michael Vick broke his leg, only played 5 games. Donovan McNabb missed 7 games. Sean Alexander had a massive decline. Troy Polamalu and Larry Fitzgerald, wildly enough, shared the cover of Madden on the first ever shared cover. Both of them got hurt the next year.
What was that one? That one guy, was Scatabo on the cover?
No.
What was that one running back who was kind of like a Scatabo that was on the cover?
Peyton Hillis.
Peyton Hillis, yeah.
Oh,
he's the guy I think of with the Madden curse.
But then you have guys like Drew Brees, who was completely unaffected, led a playoff run. Larry Fitzgerald, when he was on it by himself. Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl after being on it. Tom Brady, he was on the Legend Edition, but technicality. Calvin Johnson broke the receiving yard record the year he was on the cover of Madden. Like, if there's any indicator that the Madden curse isn't a thing, that might be it. If a Detroit Lion was able to overcome the Madden curse, anybody can do it.
Man, this is another story.
So here's the thing, right? So I think Fitz, Zim, you're right. It's about 50% chance, 50-50, flip a coin basically almost. But they say 40% chance of that cover athlete having a significant problem. So you may have an injury, they may be out 4 or 5 weeks, whatever, but you're talking about a significant problem where they're sidelined for 10 plus weeks, the entire year sometimes. So
NFL,
that 40%, it's the NFL, of course. But that 40% is what scares people, I think.
It's very scary, but like at the same time, you could be a super electric player just about to hit your peak, who then on a freak play breaks your leg, tears your MCL, ACL, starts rehabbing, and then on your way back from rehab, tears your Achilles and never plays in the league again. Tariq Cohen, guy who we all had a ton of faith in.
Johnny
exactly
Knox, look at what happened with his back.
Johnny Knox going to recover a fumble.
Half or whatever.
That's it, man. It can happen to anybody. It can happen at any time. The fact that it's not like a higher percentage of players than it is, it feels miraculous to me in what a violent contact sport they play. But all that aside, I don't personally believe in the Madden curse. Any given Sunday applies to injuries too.
Yeah.
All right, there it is.
I agree with that.
Tonight's ticket, unreal. What the heck? Google AI, thank you.
222, not bad.
Man, not bad for a $5 bet. We'll take it.
I don't have any of those accounts, but you're starting to make me
start thinking about it. Huh?
$5 for 222.
It doesn't happen every day, but two times the last 5 days I've hit.
My issue with sports betting these days is I live in Iowa where it's completely legal, but I work in Nebraska where, oh my God, if you say the word gambling, people look at you like you got 2 heads.
Really?
Never mind the fact that all the casinos are right on the border and you can see them. You can throw a stone across the river and hit them all. But it's so strange, the double standard living and working in these 2 states. I go across that river. I can't even place a bet on my phone. I can't even open my app to check and see if my bet's hit or not.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
That's crazy.
All right. Mad Curse. You heard it here.
It's not real, people.
Pretty sure I also heard that Tooch was buying us all around tonight.
I would love to buy me coffee. Or some Johnny's beef, man. We're gonna be heading to like legendary territory later with Fitz as he reviews, gives Fitz's review of Johnny's Italian beef in Elmwood Park. I haven't been there in years, man. It is Elmwood Park, right?
Yep. It's right on like Elmwood Park, right on the border, like Oak Park and River Forest.
There's all those ones. Oak Park, Elmwood Park, Forest Park. What's the other one over there?
There's Melrose Park,
Schiller Park, Melrose Park, Franklin
River
Park.
Forest.
Franklin Park. All the parks. It's in all the parks area. We'll be hitting that. All right, let's get to some stuff here. I forgot there was a Ravens insider had a thought that the Bears might be open to trading Garrett Bradbury after the Ravens lost. They lost Tyler Linderbaum. Let me get rid of that thing there. Okay. After the Ravens failed to replace Tyler Linderbaum, so they proposed that the Bears might be open to trading Garrett Bradbury, whose salary cap hit there is $4.6 million. And then I forget which. I think it was Bears now proposed. Hey, the Bears could receive Tavius Robinson, who's in the last year of his contract, fits the system, age 27, 6'6", 262. He's long, like Dennis Allen likes, plays the run really well. 10 games last year, had 4.5 sacks. I can't see the Bears trading Garrett Bradbury going with a rookie, but they do have Logan Jones. They drafted him. He's the future. What are your guys' thoughts? No way, right?
I can't imagine them doing this, but all bets are off, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
And I'm sure that the Bears are once again at the top of the list for takers on this. I'm sure everyone's saying that, but
yeah,
I can't. I'd be surprised that if they did that.
Danikin?
Yeah, I don't think it happens. I don't think it comes to fruition. At the end of the day, you got to have that guy and just let him kind of help this young rookie along. You know what I mean? And I understand the Bears and the fan base. It's like soon as we get somebody, everybody becomes expendable. You know what I mean? It's always been that way every single time. If they drafted a running back, DeAndre Swift would be, the guy that's being traded today. You know what I mean? Same thing with any position. So that's just what we do. You know what I mean? I don't think it happens though.
Yeah.
Well, Zim, you can't see him trading Bradbury, can you?
I can't think of a single time that a team has traded for a player and then traded him away in the same offseason.
Yeah, before he played one snap. Yeah.
Right.
What I will say,
I agree.
Is that Logan Jones does seem like an NFL-ready prospect. And I've got more on him later, but Logan Jones is a very capable player who might not need as much refining as some people might think being a rookie coming into this league. And you especially want him to gain that familiarity with Caleb Williams quickly so that, it is a downside, as Cliff Victoria in chat points out, like it is a downside having a rookie center coming into Caleb's third year. But the sooner you get them building that chemistry, the longer they have that chemistry and the more established they can become together, right? Because if Caleb can then teach Logan these things, then they're only going to be stronger together. So I see the advantage of getting Logan Jones in there early, getting him developed and getting him up to speed. And that's why, as crazy as this trade seems, talk to me about it again in like 4 months, right about when the season's starting. That's when I think this becomes a lot more realistic. Right now, hell no.
Point.
Like they haven't even taken any snaps. They haven't done anything
yet.
What
if the Ravens offered a third? We sent a fifth, right?
Ooh, man, if they offered you a third,
I
put them on hold and I make a couple phone calls and say like, hey guys, they want him, it would make sense.
That's
it
a
also
good point
kind of
to make, though.
It also depends on where you think Luke Newman is as your backup center. If you think that Newman is truly ready, if somebody goes down, make the move. But at the same time, $4.6 million on a 1-year rental for a guy who just went to a Super Bowl, who played in your division, who is a very athletic center, knows systems, knows how to run, knows how to pass block. Let him develop your guy. Let him go after this year and say thank you.
Yep. He's out of contract after this year, Bradbury.
And maybe at the trade deadline something happens.
Yeah. I'm totally agree. You don't want to make yourself thin at this position. They place a great importance on the offensive line. But it really does make you wonder. Now the other thing I wanted to talk about is Man, the biggest worry probably on Bears fans' minds is where's the pass rush going to come from? We didn't do much. We got Jordan Vandenberg in the 6th round, who I love, and I think we get some pressure up the middle. He did. He was a pretty good penetrator at Georgia Tech, but the Bears are relying on players like Dayo Dengbo and Grady Jarrett, who they paid a lot of money to last year. But I can't help feel like, hey, we paid these guys a lot of money. We got to go with them now, you know. But still, the pass rush. I mean, look, Dennis Allen likes to generate pressure by blitzing defensive backs and linebackers. You know, corner safeties, linebackers. You know, surprise attack blitz. And then, you know, of course, we're hoping that Austin Booker breaks out. You know, he's looking good, Daniken.
Yeah, he's looking real strong.
He's looking good, Fitz.
Oh yeah,
it's similar numbers to Tavius Robinson, 10 games, 4.5 sacks. But what do you think? Are the Bears going to make a move to sign somebody? There's Cam. We talked about Cam Jordan and Jadeveon Clowney, and today someone floated the idea of maybe the Steelers might want to part ways with Alex Highsmith, who had 9.5 sacks in only 13 games last year. 6'4", 242, more of a stand-up linebacker, but could be a situational pass rusher. Might cost a 2nd-round pick or lower. The Steelers also have Nate Herbig and TJ Watt. Any thoughts on what you think the Bears will do if they're gonna stay put with what they have? If they're going to try and sign a mercenary like Cam Jordan or Jadeveon Clowney. You see Dante Fowler signed a contract. I forget with who was it. Okay, I have to look it up. Sorry, I had it on my top of my mind today. But what do you guys think? Any thoughts on Bears pass rush?
I think they're going to go the mercenary route. Looking at the Highsmith numbers, I mean, I think that's probably going to be too much money, the $14.5 million, and also another draft pick. I don't think they're going to trade for anybody.
Right.
I would say the mercenary route. I personally, I'm looking at it going, they have done something with the pass rush. You know, you look at all they get 3 defensive tackles. You know, Contavious Street, is that and Neville Gallimore, and I'm forgetting one more. Was it James Lynch? Is that?
Yeah, James Lynch.
Okay. So they've made some moves there.
Yeah.
They've got 2, you know, Austin Booker and Dayo Dengbo there that they're going to be on the team. You know, those 2 guys are going to be on the team. See what you've got for a year and reshape this next year. I think they had enough issues at other positions that they needed to fill that I think they said, okay, this is the way we're going to do it this year. We, you know, got some 1-year guys coming in. We've got some guys on the roster already. Let's see what we can do with it. I mean, it's going to look, the defense is going to look a lot different than it did last year. So,
yeah, all of the turnovers we got, we can't expect that to be replicated. Daniken, what do you think?
No, the turnovers are not going to be replicated. I mean, you teach it and you practice it, but you know, it's just it's so many things that have to go right for you to turn the ball over as frequently as the Bears did this past year, right? So
yeah, amazing.
You know, it's not gonna fall your way every time like that all of a sudden,
and that's okay.
So, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, absolutely. But that's the learning curve, right? So you got over on some of that other stuff, but now as they start to progress and get better, you know, with time. They're still going to turn the ball over some. I think there are an opportunistic defense in that way, but it's just not going to be the same, right? You can't depend on it, right? We talked about that. Those are the 2 things with the Chicago Bears from last year to this year that I want to see change. I don't want them depending on these turnovers because some teams protect the ball better. Some, you know what I mean? The ball's not always going to bounce your way. And then the other thing is just getting off to fast starts and not slowing down.
If the Bears don't get turnovers last year, they give up 42 points to the 49ers. And I mean, it's like you get the turnovers, but there's 65 other plays in the game too. You know, And so I think they're going to be better all around just because of the moves they've made.
Yeah.
Zim, would you like to see him sign a pass rusher like Cam Jordan?
I don't give a shit about their pass rush. The Bears they've made it so abundantly clear what they're doing that I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired of talking about it. They've made the investment. They're sticking pat with it. It sucks, honestly, because they didn't anticipate the injuries. They didn't anticipate guys to pan out the way that they did. They thought that Gervon Dexter was going to be a little bit more of a noisemaker than he has been. He's still a force on the interior. The problem is we had this guy named Aaron Donald come wreck the league for 14 years. And now our expectation of what a defensive tackle should do is completely skewed because of a Hall of Famer.
Unrealistic.
That's it. The same way that Reggie White did it, the same way that Alan Page did it, the same way that, several of these guys have done it throughout the years. They really fuck with your sense of like what a defensive tackle actually is. Mm-hmm. And, Gervon's good at what he does, so he's not losing his job. And Grady Jarrett, you overpaid for him. You didn't expect the fall off to be what it was. And unfortunately, you're just stuck with it. So what do? You make him a captain. You make him a mentor. You have him teach these guys. You go sign a Neville Gallimore who has a game really similar to a young Grady Jarrett. And you say, Grady, go teach this guy how to be the next you, who, by the way, probably would have been the all-pro selection for 12 of those 14 years had Aaron Donald not been in the league, and it's things like that. They're making the best with the situation that they've got. I don't think that they're making any more investment than they've already got, whether it be by a trade or via free agent signing. Their move to make their defensive line better is making their secondary better. That's what they're doing. They went out, they got Kobe Bryant. They got my draft sweetheart and Dylan Thieneman, right? They got, and by the way, I didn't get a chance to be here last week to point that one out, but he has been the number one guy out of my mouth for 3 months leading up to the draft. As much as I don't like the draft, this has been the singular guy that I've known about and had my eye on. And you guys all told me he wasn't going to be there. And I'm so excited that he made it to the Bears. I think he is in the perfect situation.
He's Urlachian. He's Urlachian, Zim.
And to continue along on that, the other place they made the investment was in their coaching staff. Dennis Allen runs a scheme where you're going to rotate D linemen, where you're going to rely on your secondary. And they brought in Al Harris. And real quick, just to point this out, Al Harris was with the Chiefs for 5 years. In those 5 years, they finished top 10 in interceptions in all but one of those years. He then went to the Dallas Cowboys, where they led the league in interceptions over that 4-year span, and then came to the Bears, where he continued to do the same, where he led the league in interceptions with his defensive backs. The Bears don't care about their pass rush, and that's why I don't care about their pass rush, because they've shown where their investment's going to be, and it's going to be in their secondary, and it's going to be in their linebacking core.
I think here's the thing. I think the Bears are concerned with their pass rush. I think they want to have a pass rush,
or at least pressures,
but they're okay with what they have.
Yeah.
The more pressing issues were safety. We didn't have a safety 5 weeks ago at all.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Before free agency hit, we didn't have one under contract. We didn't have one under contract. That's what I'm saying. So when the guy falls to you, and I think we talked about this 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, because I thought Thieneman would be gone. I thought he was gone. I thought the two top safeties in the draft were going to be gone off the board. Caleb Downs and Thieneman, right?
Yep.
And when he falls to you and he's there, that's why I said the Bears did what they did. Ryan Poles did what he did to where he's not strapped. He wasn't in dire straits for any position because he kind of addressed everything a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Now, it may not be to the effect that fans want to see, or you and I, hey, I want a pass rusher. I'm beating the table for a pass rusher. And you're not getting that because maybe he sees and maybe Dennis Allen sees what Booker can be, and they believe in it. You know what I mean? Maybe they're going that route. You know, so I'm not going to say that they don't care about the pass rush. I'm going to say that what they have, they seem to be okay with. They seem to want to see this guy grow. He's 23 years old, people. He just turned 23. Austin Booker. He has a ton of potential. And you got Montez Sweat on the other side. So if you get anything from the right side or whatever you want to call it, you know, it's going to make Sweat better. And when they have continuity on the defensive line too, where guys are not getting hurt, whether it be Grady Jarrett, whether it be Jerron Dexter, if guys can stay healthy, that defensive line will be a much better unit.
Are the Bears, with all the moves they made at defensive tackle, are they signaling next year Gervon and Grady will be gone?
I think Grady will be gone. I don't know about Gervon though. I think if you look at Dexter, you look at what he's done. To me, he's a top 10 defensive tackle.
Yeah, why wouldn't you put him right next to Gallimore and let him do their thing? You know,
exactly.
All right. The Bears were fortunate to have Dylan Thieneman fall to them. They had no choice, really. I mean, once he was there at 25, there was no other choice.
Was anybody terrified that they were going to fuck that up, though?
I was. I
thought once he fell, I was like, they're going to take him. I believe that they were going to take him because I said it like a couple weeks ago, where if you have a safety, because safeties, their value when it comes to getting contracts, the second contracts is going down. If he falls to you at 25, 26, why would you not take a safety and get that 5th-year option? It just made sense to me.
That's fair. That's fair.
If Thieneman were gone, I think they would have traded back or taken one of the edge rushers. TJ
the edge
Parker.
rushers were gone. You know, the guy, the true like top tier guys were gone.
Yeah,
Akis and Parker and Zion Young, they were all still there.
But my thing is, there's 3 guys there. You probably could have traded down in the second round, the top of the second round, granted, but
traded back
and still gotten one of those guys, you know?
Yeah, that's why I said they probably would have traded back.
Realistically, and I totally agree with you. Yeah. Realistically, are any of those 3 guys going to make a bigger impact, than Daniel Thieneman? Like,
no.
Absolutely not.
But
they got their most impactful player there.
The Vikings weren't idiots and took him when they were supposed to.
The Vikings drafted like a team that doesn't have a GM right now.
Right.
What can I say?
Exactly. If Thieneman weren't there, that's what I'm saying. Now, the reason why I put Tavius Robinson up for a trade target for the Bears, that they did draft Zion Young, and he's sitting right behind Tavius Robinson. I'm talking about the Ravens. So that's why Tavius Robinson has the measurables that Dennis Allen looks for.
The Ravens are a good drafting team, and they have been for a long time, since Ozzie Newsome was the GM, and who's their guy now? DeCostas, is that right?
Eric DeCosta.
Yeah, I am right. But regardless, he learned a lot from Newsome, and he's done a great job. And the one thing that I think they do really well is they prepare for departures. And if you notice, they have 5 quarterbacks on their roster right now. Hint, hint. You know, they prepare for the future, and it's something that I think that Ryan Poles has taken seriously now, that he's starting to get into the development of this roster and no longer fixing the holes that Ryan Pace left for him and cleaning up the salary cap mess. Like, this is his roster now. There's like one guy I think left from when Pace was here, something like that. It's Kmet, Johnson.
Is it Jalen Johnson?
Yeah, Jalen Johnson, Cole Kmet,
and no, Kyler Gordon was a Poles pick.
Yep.
Elgin's gone. I think Cairo Santos was here.
Cairo,
but like, that's it. Like, this roster is completely Ryan Poles now. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to take an example from, like I was pointing out, the teams that build deep, like the Ravens. So when fans get all pissed off about a tight end in back-to-back drafts, it's like, hey, you're all talking about trading Cole Kmet and getting rid of Cole Kmet and not having Cole Kmet on this roster next year. you kind of need somebody to take his spot.
Here's the other thing too. Like, what was his philosophy when he first got hired, Ryan Poles? Right? His philosophy was we're building through the draft for sustained success.
That's right.
Not a flash in the pan, right? That's what grabbing free agents do. That's what trading away your future for a guy who's 32 years old, 33 years old, and may play 1 or 2 years with you. That's what that does. Those are flash in the pans. That's to get you over the top if you need to. But to build sustained success, like the Ravens have had, like the Patriots had, they don't go and usually spend a ton of money in free agency. They may grab 1 or 2, but you don't build your roster with free agents or trades. You build your roster with young players that can develop under your program, meaning these are specific players designed to thrive in your system, whether that be Dennis Allen or whether that be Ben Johnson's system. So,
and when you do sign those,
right, they would have picked Colton Hood maybe at 25.
That's a valid point.
Yeah, valid point.
But when you do sign free agents, in addition to what you're saying, Danikin, the guys you sign are high upside guys who haven't really reached their potential yet, who might have been underperformers because of their role on their previous teams, i.e. Dio Dango and Kobe Bryant. And Neville Gallimore. All guys who were productive in their limited opportunities with the teams that they were with before. And, Kobe Bryant, granted, he was a starter. He's still learning that position. He's going to flesh out. He's going to be a much better player 2 years from now than he was last year, and you can only hope for the same from Gallimore and Odangbo. I really think that you're onto something there with that. And I completely agree.
And that's a good point too, because when you think about it, the Bears going after some of these guys, a lot of people, Dio Dingwall, you blew it on that or whatever the case may be, and he's basically taking a swing for the fence, right? With this guy, compared to,
and he might miss
to a guy who might be old, who might be washed up, who might have lost a step, who might be injury prone. So instead, you're going with a guy who's 26, 27. Has a little bit of potential. Maybe he was in a situation where he couldn't thrive to the best of his ability. So you're swinging for the fences on this stuff, and you're gonna hit some, you're gonna miss some. Just like big with other free agents. Look at what we did. Remember when we picked up what's the guy's name from the Vikings that time?
Jared Allen.
Jared. Yeah. I mean, look at what we did there. You know what I mean? Did that pan out for the Bears? No, it didn't.
No. And I was so hyped when they made that signing, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing with free agency, they usually don't pan out the way that you need them to. They usually they just don't. They just
especially with football, you're usually paying for what they've done.
Exactly.
Yeah, Danikin's made that point a bunch of times. I totally agree. Yep.
It is aged differently in football, quicker.
Yeah, like he made the point with Kevin Byard. We would be paying him for what he did last season, leading the league in interceptions. He's probably not doing that anymore. Right. But the reason why I had voiced concern about the pass rush, and I didn't make a graphic for this, but I should have. But it's really pressures is what they're looking for. The Bears are looking for is whether or not you get home on the sack, but pressures. And the Bears had 214 pressures last season. By contrast, the world champion Seahawks had 371 pass rush pressures.
Hey, that's pretty close.
We're 157 away. So you spread that out over 17 games. That's almost 10 pressures a game less than the Seahawks.
It's 157 more pressures than any of the four of us created. So.
Right. So really, like Cliff says, pressures create turnovers. And if the Bears, whether or not they get more sacks, it doesn't matter. If they're getting in the 300s of pressures, I think the defense will be giving them a good chance because obviously Ben Johnson wants to score 30 points a game, so all we got to do is hold the other team to 28 or less, most likely. And that's
because. And it's a great point, man, because pressures create incomplete passes. Pressures create your quarterback being sped up and putting the ball in harm's way. You know what I mean? You know,
but we have the one quarterback who, one of the three, I would say, that is great at avoiding, allowing pressures to affect him negatively. You know, he's the escapability on Caleb Williams is I haven't seen since I'm going to say Fran Tarkenton when I was a kid, but I always bring up Tarkenton.
I never saw Fran Tarkenton.
I know nobody. When I was a kid, I was like, how the hell he's got eyes in the back of his head? But you guys are all Cliff Victoria probably knows what I'm talking about. But I haven't seen. I mean, Caleb, he weasels out of stuff, man. It's fantastic. I love it. You know,
Michael Vick was probably somebody
Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Now you got Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, but I put Caleb right up there or above even them, man. That one play against the Rams where he running backwards and 50-yard pass to hit Komet in the end zone.
For a 14-yard completion.
For a 14-yard completion, right.
It's not just his escapability, but it's his knack for making these plays, you know, that are absurd almost. You know what I mean? It's just like, wow, okay.
Yep. So that was what I was getting at with the pass rush and pressures and all that stuff. Let him go around. Well, after the Bears had to take Thieneman, they probably were looking at edge. And again, the Patriots traded up in front of us, and people could say they weren't looking at taking Gabe Akers, the pass rusher from Illinois, but I think they might have. And at that point, they said, "Look, let's just grab the Iowa center. He's our guy for the future." They grabbed Logan Jones. I want to get your guys' reaction on how much, whether or not you like the pick at 57 of Logan Jones. But before we do, I've got this quote from Logan Jones. When he was asked when he came to the Bears, the Bears asked him, "What's something that is an underrated or underappreciated part of being a center?" And he said, "I mean, the quarterback sneak is probably the most painful thing in the world. You know, worse than childbirth fits." But it's brutal. Once you go down, everyone's on top and you can't breathe. And then sometimes you'll play people, they'll just start punching you while you're down there. It's brutal. I mean, you got to love this. Danikin.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, the things that go on underneath a pile of bodies on the football field is truly amazing. You know what I mean?
Don't let Christian Wilkins grab you in the bum.
Was that the greatest
is that his name?
Penalty description. Wilkins? He's giving them the business.
Who was sticking his fingers up a guy's bum. Is that the player Christian Wilkins? I can't remember. That's his name.
Was it him? I don't know if it was him, but yeah, I do.
The crazy guy was on the Raiders and the Dolphins, the defensive tackle. But at 57, the Bears, they said, "Screw it, man. We're taking the center. We're getting the best center in the draft." Zim, you're okay with that pick?
Oh, I 100% biased. Yes, I love the pick. Logan Jones went to high school 20 minutes up the road from where I live.
Yep, Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Yes, he is from Council Bluffs, Iowa. His school is rivals with the school that my children will go to.
Lucas got it.
I'm ecstatic. I'm trying to see if I can get in touch with the coach up there to see if we can talk about it a little bit.
That'd be awesome.
You know, they've got a really good program up there. A couple years prior, they put out a pretty good quarterback named Max Duggar. Yep. Guy TCU fame.
Yep.
Yeah. Hell of a quarterback who Logan Jones was snapping to. So he's, you know, not unaware of what it is to snap to a star quarterback. You know, he's got that experience already, snapping to one of the highest rated recruits in the nation as a sophomore in high school. So, you know, he's familiar with what it takes. He knows what it's going to take. You know, he did it in college as well at Iowa. Granted, Iowa's quarterback situation is a little different, but
Gronowski was pretty good last year, though, man.
He but he wasn't, you know, best in the whatever. You know, he was best in the school maybe, but not best in.
He's in somebody's training camp too. He's got a training camp invite. But
my point being that, you know, I think it's a great pick for a guy who knows how to handle it, who knows how to handle dealing with a star quarterback behind him, and who knows I don't know. Again, I'm 100% biased on this. I think it's awesome that he grew up 20 minutes from where I am. I think that's so cool. Now he plays for my favorite team.
Ben Devine has a 5 starting spots that should be a really good battles in training camp. Let me know what you think about some of these. At left tackle, you got Braxton Jones and Jedrick Wills. Garrett Bradbury and Logan Jones. We just talked about Logan Jones. DeMarco Jackson and rookie Keyshawn Elliott. That'll be fun. I like the Keyshawn Elliott pick also. Tyreek Stevenson and Malik Muhammad. And then I'm not sure about the long snapper battle, Ben, but Luke Elkin and Bo Gardner. I don't know how exciting.
I'll give a check about that one because I'm still holding Caleb to the fire because he said we're not supposed to be punting that much.
Right.
Hey, they were the least punting team in the NFL last year.
Well, let's keep it that way.
We couldn't stop anybody.
Well, that was
I stand by.
We were the least punting team, not because we were so proficient on offense, but because Ben Johnson was a gambler.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
I think it will continue to be that way, though. No, I pointed that one out, though, last year. For anybody who listened to our preseason coverage last year, I said that Luke Elkin would be a factor on special teams sooner rather than later, and I stand by it. He was Tory Taylor's long snapper in college. Teammates with Logan Jones as well in college. You know, these three guys.
Georgia long snapper is supposed to be really good.
He is supposed to be really good,
but we'll see.
But it's a point where talent and chemistry are going to come head to head with one another, and we're going to find out who wins based, I think, on those two things. Genuinely.
After Logan Jones, the Bears picked him at 57. They had a pick at 60. They traded back, and then pick 69 came around. Like, who the hell, Sam Roush fits?
Stanford boy.
Another tight end, man. We got Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet. What the hell are the Bears thinking? But man, like I said, it's 13 personnel, Daniken. That's the whole idea behind. Look at how many snaps Durham Smythe had last season. He's gone. He signed with Dolphins or Raiders. Smythe or Ravens.
Raiders sounds right.
Raiders or Ravens.
Yeah.
Roush is going to play. Now the reason the trend of 13 personnel, teams are in nickel a lot. That 13 guy is the one that's going to overpower the small linebacker or extra safety or nickel and in the run game. You've got you forcing the defense to commit, during whether it's going to be play action run or pass or just pound it down their throats. What do you think about the pick? Or do you guys like the pick a little bit more now that we're kind of seeing why Ben Johnson wanted a blocking third, someone who can block the defensive end one-on-one? What do you think, Daniken?
Well, I mean, initially when the pick was first made, I thought, man, we don't need a tight end right now. You know what I mean? Like not this early. I was okay with the tight end maybe a little bit later, but I was like, not this early. Like there's other things that I thought we could have addressed at that point in time. But the way the draft went, we end up addressing everything that needed to be addressed. So I'm cool with it, number one. And number two, you start looking at it, and it's not only 13 personnel, right? Like a lot of people talk about 12 personnel, 11, 12, 13 personnel, so on and so forth. And it's not just 13 personnel, but this allows them to run 12 personnel and then run Loveland out there at wide receiver or put him at a slot position and just create these nightmares for the defense to kind of plan for. So, you know what I mean? Because Colston Loveland, he can do that. He'll be able to do that. They do it with Travis Kelce in Kansas City. You'll see George Kittle line up outside. You know what I mean? Those are the things that Ben Johnson will end up doing with any of those guys, really. I think Cole Kmet could go out there and create a nightmare matchup on the outside with somebody. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the wiggle, of course, that Colston Loveland has, but he's still, fast enough to play a little bit, and he's big enough to create a nightmare out there for somebody. So,
yeah, the Sam Roush pick. I go back to Logan Jones because Logan Jones. Here they get the safety in the first round, so I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna get an edge or something like that. And all of a sudden they pick Logan Jones. I was like, what? Oh, I see what's going on here. Mm-hmm. So when the Roush pick came up, I was more in line with it right away because it kind of just my whole train of thought of what they were doing kind of shifted a little bit. I'm like, okay, they know more than what I'm doing, and this is where my lack of knowledge of football comes into play and what you guys have taught me over this last year. I remember throughout the year, I would see plays where I would see Smythe on the field. He'd catch a pass or something, go, oh, is somebody out? What's wrong with Loveland or Komet or something like that?
They were all out there, right?
It's like everyone's out there. Like, so when Roush was picked, I was like, okay, yeah, we needed somebody to replace Smythe. As odd as that sounded at the time, but it was like, yeah, because Johnson loves his tight ends. So the draft was unexpected as it went, but as it was going, I could see a little bit what they were doing, so it wasn't as shocking.
But and Johnson isn't the only one who loved the tight ends. The draft board that I remember, most tight ends taken in a draft in NFL history. Teams are picking tight ends higher than usual because everyone. I forgot. I think NFL's a copycat league, Danica.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Teams are running 12 and 13 personnel at the highest rate of any. So it makes sense in retrospect. But during the draft, I mean, we had draft coverage here at the Barroom. Everyone was like, the pass rushers are out there, guys. Get a pass rusher. I think the pass rush panic is still there,
Yeah. I would so much rather have the best or second best safety than like the 8th best pass rusher.
Yeah.
Or have like the 2nd or 3rd best tight end than the 15th best pass rusher. Like, I think the Bears made the right move not going after pass rusher. Like, as sucky as it is, as much as we wanted to see the position improve, Poles stuck to his guns. He built the roster the way he said he's going to build it, and he attacked the draft the way that he promised he's going to attack it. And in the same way that we were all pissed off that they went tight end, wide receiver round 1 and 2 last year, those two guys are the guys you're counting on probably the most this upcoming season.
They went tight end, wide receiver again in the second.
It's just it, man. Like
third round, tight end, wide receiver.
It's crazy. Like, but I mean, we're counting on Burden and Loveland more than we're counting on Sweat and Odangbo. I feel like is that a fair thing to say? Like, I think it's
they want to score 30
valuable.
points a game, 31 points a game.
It's so valuable to put those picks there then because of that. Like, they are appropriately allocating resources at this point in time. And if you're left wanting more pass rush, like I think we're just going to have to get used to it. I really do.
Yep.
That's the thing. I think what I was looking at when the draft first happened, I was just like, man, impact player. And you're looking at it, it's like, okay, you got Cole Kmet, you got Colston Loveland. He's not going to be as much of an impact player as somebody else would at a different position, right? So that's what I was thinking. But like I said, as the draft went on, man, it's like you could see clearly what they're trying to do, and it's like, okay, I'm with it. I'm on board with that because you see it. Football, sports in general is a lot about identity, and the Bears are establishing their identity. They're going to continue to go with that identity, and the identity is we're an offensive team now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. The Bears
love defense, and the fans love it, right? I know I love it. I love defense more than offense, of course, right? I've been on record saying that, but at the end of the day, they're an offensive team.
They're an offensive team.
That's it.
Yep. Now the Bears went into the draft knowing that they'd be without DJ Moore and Olamide Zaccheaus, so they picked up this guy. He's gonna play. He's gonna return kickoffs and probably punts as well. He's might even run. DJ Moore got some handoffs. Luther Burden, they talked about getting handoffs. I think Bird got a few handoffs. They ran a bunch of reverses as well. This guy's gonna come in and do a lot of that stuff. You just can't teach 4.28 speed. No. And that's something that Ben Johnson wants. He wants more explosive plays. Because we're kind of like Xavier Thomas, man. My mock draft, I was drafting him in the 7th round. But NFL teams don't look at players like that the same way that mock draft simulator or fans do.
Right.
Now, the tight ends, again, I promised you guys we would take a look at some of these undrafted guys. And they went back to Iowa for an Iowa tight end, but this guy's kind of does a lot of stuff.
I don't need to know anything about him. He's a tight end from Iowa. He's going to be elite.
And he's a good player. But he didn't have a lot of production because, they're a running team. But this guy is also a hell of a blocker. He might be just as good as Roush. Also played fullback. They handed him the ball on the goal line. We don't have to have Theo Benedette running on the goal line. But I think this guy has a really good chance. He's got a really good chance to make the team, man. He is kind of a gadget player at Iowa. Played fullback, H-back, and he's a hell of a blocker, man. 6'4", 255.
Do you happen to know what his RAS score was? Looks like it would be decent.
8.92.
8.92.
Good, man.
Where's he from?
Iowa.
He's from Iowa on top of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just clarify.
From junior college, I don't remember the name of it.
We have a guy from Iowa who played at Iowa, wore a number in the 80s, has a high RAS score, played tight end and fullback, and he's white. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Oh my God.
I think he's got a chance because after the Roush, Komet and Loveland, there's really nothing there. Steven Carlson has been here quite a while, more of a receiver than a blocker. That one Jaron Kalinich, or whatever his name is, I think he was from Yale. Well, he's got some nasty too. I think it's between him and Kalinich. But this dude is a heck of an athlete. He's someone to watch in the preseason when we're watching. Yeah. We're watching these preseason games. Hayden Large. After that, the Bears stopped Malik Muhammad's slide, picked him at cornerback.
I like
that was a good pick too.
Yeah, I think he legitimately might be a week one starter.
What do you guys think of that? Like I said, that's going to be a battle. Tariq Stevenson is in a contract year.
Yep.
Malik Muhammad is hungry, man. He's a player that really is focused.
He wanted to go to the Cowboys.
He's pissed off. He fell to the fourth round.
Well, he's from that area. He's from Dallas.
He's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He's got a chip on his shoulder. That's going to be a good battle. And then we wanted pass rush, so they did. This guy's a pretty good pass rusher for a blitzer from the linebacker spot. 14.5 tackles for loss and 7 sacks. He's a really good processor too. I like this. I think he's going to make the team for sure. And then the South African kid, he's gonna put some pressure on the guys ahead of him. 11 tackles for loss, 29 pressures,
10.0 RAS score.
Yeah.
Remind me what RAS is. What is that?
Raw athletic score.
Right. Okay.
It's if you go to X, you can follow Kent Lee Platt. He goes by @MathBomb. He is the one who came up with the raw athletic score. He factors in all the things that you see up there.
Okay.
The arms, hands, weight, height, the 40-yard, the 10-yard split, the bench. All of those gets factored into, and then kind of like combined with their height, weight, their speed, all that stuff. And he comes up with the raw athletic score number. And he does one for a lot of players before the draft. Jordan Vandenberg had like the perfect score for defensive lineman.
He came in at like third out of like 1,600 linemen that he's done these scores for.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
his coach says he's the most polite person, but when he's on the field, he'll absolutely snatch the soul out of you.
And just to be clear, RAS does not necessarily translate to being an elite NFL player.
Correct.
Guys who have had elite RAS scores are guys like Chase Claypool.
Yeah.
He had a very, very good RAS score.
Yeah, I was trying to get Alyssa Barbieri on the show because she had an article about it today in Bears Wire talking about PFF score and RAS.
Yes,
how the Bears looked at that.
It's a great tool. It's not necessarily an indicator, though, and that's something to keep in mind. However, scoring a 10 is very impressive. At the bare minimum, this guy is going to stick around in the league for probably 5 to 8 years just because people are curious and want to kick the tires on him. And the Bears get the first 4 years of that guaranteed now,
Like it.
All right. So there were some other players that
also, Tooch, you kept asking who the guy that no one's ever heard of that is a freak athlete that Ryan Poles is going to draft. That's him. That was our guy, Vandenberg.
Vandenberg is the Ruben Hippolyte of this year's draft.
That's it.
Hippolyte had an elite RAS too.
What this lets me know, though, what it lets me know, right? The Bears are going after some athletic people. They're going after guys who have a lot of potential, right? Mm-hmm. That lets me know that they're real confident in their coaching staff too, because there may be guys who are less athletic, but more of a, for sure fire type situation because they know the game of football. But this lets me know that not only does Ryan Poles and the brass, they believe in Ben Johnson, but Ben Johnson knows what he's doing. He's assembled that coaching staff, and they're saying, get us the athletes. We will be able to develop them into players and teach them the game of football.
Not like that last coaching staff, Dedican.
No. Not like those.
Get me a guy who follows the shit principle.
It's principle. All right. Well, we're talking RAS. The Vanilla Gorilla offensive lineman from Wyoming had a 9.54. A guy who's got a chance. This is a guy who's battling people like Jordan McFadden or maybe a Theo Benedette or what's Luke Newman. More competition for the. Well, I think those guys like Luke Newman and Theo will make the team.
Does that dude look 22? Like 35 years old, like, you know what I mean?
That's kind of angry.
Like Hawking Animal or something from WWE.
He is raw though. He could be a practice squad player, but they paid him like a big amount to come here as an undrafted free agent.
They gave him like a real contract, basically. Yeah.
So I mean, there's a good chance he makes the roster. Elite RAS score at the defensive tackle position, Jaden Loving out of Wake Forest. RAS of 9.93. Does have short arms, though, as Greg Gabriel had mentioned. Probably a practice squad player, but some of the Bears could develop, man. He's got some size, 6'2", 317, and an RAS of 9.93. His 10-yard split was 1.64 seconds. I mean, that's as fast as some running backs. I mean, if you look at Thieneman, he had a 1.52. He's like 1/10 of a second slower than Thieneman in a 10-yard. That's explosive.
Yes.
So they did get him. Now, safety talk, if we're talking safeties, I like this kid too, Skylar Thomas out of Oregon State. He got a chance to stick around, man. The kid's a player. 6'2", 212. Yeah. He's got some size, got some length, 32-inch arms, ran a 4.59, not as explosive, but look at his 10-yard, 1.59, his shuttle, 4.35, and a broad jump of 10.1. That's explosion, man. Mm-hmm. So this is a dude who made a lot of plays at Oregon State. I know the numbers, stats don't exactly show, but he was a good player at Oregon.
This guy immediately jumps off the page to me as like a DeAndre Houston Carson type player.
Yep.
A guy who
do those special teams. Yep.
He's gonna have to cut his teeth on special teams, and he'll get his opportunity if he does.
Yep.
Once again, these guys are guys that, you know what I mean, like his what was his 40 time 4.59.
Yeah.
So you look at the 40 time, and it's like, oh, it's not that great. But then you look at his 10-second split, you look at his broad jump or you know what I mean, things like that, or vertical, and it's like, okay, he's explosive, which means he's quick. He gets to top speed fast, right? So his top speed may not be this guy's top speed. It may take this other guy longer to get there. So he's running at a faster pace initially, which is what you need on the football field. Not only speed, top end speed, but you need quickness. You need change of direction. That's the stuff that you're talking about there.
That was Skylar Thomas, a safety out of Oregon State. Now, one player, I really this kid has got some really good highlights. If you have a chance to check out his highlight reel on YouTube, and I think there might be a spot for him. You have Roshan Johnson in the last year of his contract. Or Britton Brown had a 100-yard game for the Bears, like that kid. There's also Deion Hankins, an undrafted free agent from last year. But watch this kid's tape, man. Coleman Bennett, he is shifty. He's kind of like a poor man's Matt Forte, just maybe not as fast, but catches the ball real well. When he does get to top speed, he can outrun a defense. It doesn't show in his 40-yard dash. We just didn't run 40-yard dash 4.68, but his 10-yard was 1.57, which a pretty explosive broad jump of 10.4. But 5'11", 230 Danik, he's got some size, man. 27 catches, 314 yards. He had a 76-yard touchdown reception in college. Played at Kennesaw State, which is what is that? Conference USA.
Yeah.
Kennesaw State, pretty decent program. They haven't been in Division I for that long. I think a couple years.
The Owls.
The Owls. Yep, Kennesaw State Owls. But yeah, check out this kid's tape. I think got a chance to stick. If you watch some highlights, I think Bears fans really will like his game. Barrelissimo's in the chat room. If you go to Barrelissimo's channel on YouTube, he's got a breakdown of Vandenberg. That's killer. He's got some Xavier Thomas and Sam Roush videos coming up. All right, so we saw some running back. Bears also signed as an undrafted free agent Miller Moss, who played at Louisville last year, but he was the backup to Caleb Williams at USC. He's also friends with Caleb. If you're talking developing somebody, we used to have Austin Reed. Wasn't quite Ben Johnson's liking, but they did sign Miller Moss, who is definitely at the very least a camp arm and will eat up some preseason minutes when the starters aren't playing. Mm-hmm. But I kind of like this kid. After Caleb Williams shut down for the draft year in 2024, Miller Moss, his first game, he threw for 5 touchdowns at USC. But
Miller Moss legitimately started a conversation of, is it the system or is it Caleb Williams?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But another person to talk about it, I know he's got 0 chance of beating out Tyson Bagent because, as Greg Gabriel said the other day, if Caleb Williams, God forbid, something happened to him, I mean, Tyson Bagent at least can win us some games.
Well, it begs the question, like, do the Bears know about the Madden cover already? Because I feel like they would have traded Tyson Bagent, you know?
The chat room was shouting out for the hefty lefty, the big kicker out of San Diego State. I can't see him beating out Cairo Santos. The holders, it's a complete opposite hold. I don't know, maybe that's why they brought in another long snapper or holder or whatever they're going to do. It'd be Torrey Thomas doing both holding duties. So,
did they bring in another punter?
I don't think so. Did they?
I don't believe so either.
No. I can't see him beating out. Cairo Santos is just clutch, and I know you want 60+ yard range these days in the NFL. Not everyone can have a Brandon Aubrey hitting 70-yard field goals, but those are some of our free agent, undrafted free agent signing. But I wanted to go around a little bit and just take a look at what the other teams did in the draft. The Vikings, like I said, they drafted. Caleb Banks, risky.
This is the worst draft I've seen in a decade.
Yeah, they took a lot of defense, man.
It's just brutal.
Yeah,
they drafted a fucking fullback. Like,
he's
come on.
Devon Claiborne is their Xavier Thomas, running back, a guy with a lot of speed. Dominique Orange, we had at Iowa State, pretty good player. Then took the left tackle out of Northwestern. I mean, like you said, they're drafting like they don't have a GM, Zim.
That's it. They drafted like a team that fired their GM at the combine, almost like they did or something. Like, just holy a lot of shit.
Defense. Wasn't defense already their strong suit? They drafted a lot of defense. You'd think they would.
The way this team operated, like through this entire off season, is enough to literally drive some people off the edge. Like, I can't believe that an NFL team has had the offseason that the Minnesota Vikings have had this year. It's embarrassing.
You gotta think about it, right? Who are they in the division with? They're in the division with the juggernaut that is becoming the Chicago Bears, right? So on the offensive side of the ball, we are now impacting other teams in our division, their draft class.
Great.
I think that's why they addressed so
All
much of the
defense to stop
defensive
the
line.
Bears.
And I do get it when you consider the fact that they have maybe the best wide receiver in football with Justin Jefferson. When they have a very well-established wide receiver 2 with
don't have a quarterback.
number 3, Addison, with TJ Hawkinson as their third pass catching option, and with what they probably think is going to be an acceptable backfield that they added to in this draft. Like,
Yep.
I get where they're coming from, and they probably have a case for the second best offensive line in the division as well. Probably third best if we're being realistic, but a case for second best. Yeah, you have to load up on defense, but like, oh my God, could they have done a worse job?
Well, at least they got their picks in on time.
This year.
Yeah.
The Packers also went defense, guys.
Oh God.
4 out of their only 6 picks. This is Brian Gutekunst's smallest class in his 9 years as Packers GM.
And he's had such a good history with drafting players as well, especially outside the first round.
But they did take 2 players that Bears fans liked, Chris McClellan and Dennis Sutton.
Okay. Those guys are probably not going to be contributors in the NFL now that they're on the Packers. Like Dennis Sutton, he's at defensive end behind how many guys now? Chris McClellan at defensive tackle in a division that has some of the best offensive lines in the sport. Like,
I'm telling you, man, they're drafting because you have to win your division. So they know the Bears have a very formidable offense at this point in time, and it's only going to get better. So you have teams are kind of loading up on some defense to try to combat that. I really believe that.
What's interesting is out of 6 picks, only had 6 picks in this draft. Fitz, they decided they needed a kicker.
Why not?
They drafted a kicker.
Well,
they did have some kicker troubles last year.
I was going to say, when your kicker costs you 9 points in a game that you lost by 3, you're probably thinking about it.
Yeah.
Hey, remember when the Bears lost a playoff game because of their kicker and how that offseason went? Like, they could have made it a lot more embarrassing for themselves. So I give them that. The
Lions draft class, they also went a lot of defense too, man. Only 2 offensive players. Other than that, they won, just like Danikin said, man, they won a lot of defense. They did get an offensive lineman to replace Taylor Decker first off.
Well, that's a big move for them. They really needed to address that position, and they got a guy who I think can address that position for them. Like, their offensive line, again, is 1 or 2 in the division, either the Bears or the Lions. Like, they made the right move there. As far as the rest of their draft goes, I don't know a whole lot about it. Seems again like they're going defensive heavy, like the rest of the division. Like, to Danikin's point, I don't know. Nothing about this draft impressed me by anybody in this division, to be completely honest with you.
Yep, totally agree. All right,
this was honestly just a really weak draft all around, and I think a good chunk of that is because of NIL. And I was doing some research on this, and I didn't get a chance to put it all together and present it. But effectively, what NIL is causing is guys to stay in college longer again. And we're going to have this drought for another year or 2, probably, where we have this massive fall off from rounds 1 to the middle of round 2 down to round like 4 to 5, where the talent level is just not what it's been in recent memory, and it's really been like the last 2 drafts, and it will probably continue to affect the next 2 or 3 drafts as we settle into this post-COVID NIL draft situation, college sports situation, where these players are going to stick around longer because it's more profitable for them to be in NCAA than it is in the NFL. And these kids are going to do what's best for their future, which is make money while they can. If you have an $8 million NIL deal versus being a 6th round draft pick that's going to net you $3.5 million over the next 4 years, like, you take the $8 million. And so we're coming to that point where it's starting to reach a tipping point. And again, for, like I say, the next 2-3 years, we're going to see this drought in rounds like 3 through 5, where it's just going to be like,
I disagree. Now, I disagree that it will be a drought. Like the players will not be as talented. I think they're going to be just as talented. The only difference is that because of the NIL deals that they have going on, these guys are going to be moving. Like there's guys that have been drafted that have played for 4 different colleges, 3 different colleges.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So they're learning a new system. They're learning new coaches. They're having new players around them. So their numbers are not stacking up. So when you look at their numbers, it's going to be like, oh, this guy didn't do it right in college. Yep. And what does his numbers look like, and so on and so forth.
That's a great point.
As you change, those guys are still those guys. They're still talented. They just haven't been exposed to the country.
But the problem that comes along with that now is, are you now exchanging development long term for monetary gain long term? You know what I mean? Like, and some of these guys aren't going to be able to develop the same way that they once could have, because they're going to be bouncing around chasing that paycheck. You know, it's going to create a very dynamic environment. It's going to create something that we haven't really seen before. And I think teams are going to have to dig a lot deeper in their scouting process.
You know what's going to happen too, right? These coaches on the NFL level, Mike Tomlin talked about it a couple years ago, where he said guys don't want to coach. They just want to plug and play players, right? Mm-hmm. Plug this guy in and he's going to do what they don't want to teach anybody. That's a great point. Now coaches in the NFL, because of the NIL and because guys are not developing the same way that they could have developed if they stayed at one college for 3 years, right? Because that's what you have to stay in college anyway, 3 years. Some of these guys are going to be 5 years in college and play for 4 different teams, 5 different teams sometimes. Yeah. So when you get to the NFL now, Ben Johnson, those guys, they're going to have to teach guys and develop them. That's why I'm happy with what the Bears are doing, because I feel like his coaching staff, this has been the best coaching staff that the Bears have had in the last 20 years, maybe.
Best I can remember.
Well, and that's part of the change that we're going to see through this whole scene is, the value and emphasis that's placed on certain traits for coaches, as well as scouts, as well as players. Like, we're seeing a massive shift. I don't think that we necessarily understood the full implications of NIL when it first came around, because all we were thinking is, these kids are making millions of dollars for their schools. They deserve part of it too, which I think is a totally valid argument to make.
But they're not coming in NFL ready as they should.
And that's just it. And it makes me wonder if maybe the UFL actually is coming around right at the right point in time, where it can create sort of this G
developmental league.
Exactly. Sort of this G League like the NBA has, where these players can then be drafted out of the UFL as well as out of college. And now we're looking at a totally different scene. And this is way down the line, and we're looking at a completely different thing at that point. But
no, I think you're right, though. You could make an argument that the Bears' first 3 or 4 picks in this last draft, they were looking for plug and play guys. Thieneman, who'll start. Logan Jones, they feel, could start with his experience at center, playing for the Hawkeyes. Sam Roush will be playing as the third tight end, immediately plug and play as the third tight end. And Xavier Thomas, he's going to return kicks and be a gadget guy. He's going to take some of those Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams type plays for the Bears that Ben Johnson had for the Lions.
But now look at some of the UDFAs that they grabbed, i.e. Miller Moss, a guy who played and developed at USC and then got a starting opportunity for more money elsewhere, and is now coming in as a UDFA, whereas maybe he would have been a 5th to 7th round draft pick had he stayed with USC.
Yeah. True.
So, it's just things like that I'm talking about, that like it's a new dynamic to throw into this whole thing, that it's something that you have to account for. And it's something that's going to make potentially much larger busts, I think, in the draft, as well as a lot more gems being found in later rounds.
And I love all of the talk. We were built to some stuff here. The Bears' strength of schedule is the 6th hardest preseason, but and the odds kind of bear that out. The odds to win the division, the favorites are the Lions. Second is
why? Oh my God! Oh, fucking
the Packers are
oh
second.
My
And the Bears are third, the Vikings are fourth. As far as you look at the odds,
we're doing this shit again. Oh my god!
The Bears are, and a lot of it has to be strength of schedule. We are playing a first place schedule. What do you guys think? I still think the Bears are my favorite to win the division.
Bears had the third hardest strength of schedule last year.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
So preseason means nothing.
Have it wrong.
They had the third, and then I think you've also got to throw in. They know Chicago will jump on those odds. They're going to buy that up real quick. So trash.
Yeah, strength of schedule changes as the season progresses. That's true. Yeah, I'm just saying preseason schedule. Listen to that 10. Cliff makes the point. Quick to the point. Age 25 is the NIL version of 22. Yep. Logan Jones is 24. An older player, but the Bears think he's the center of the future. All right, we guys say we head over to Elmwood Park, talk a little Johnny's Beef Classic.
Let's do it.
Set it up, Fitz.
So it's May is National Italian Beef Month.
Oh, is it?
So
yes, it is.
Yes, it is. So
that's interesting.
I've been featuring some of my places I've already been, and I think I'm going to try to each week do another Italian beef place I haven't reviewed yet. So Johnny's, a lot of people, the debate over the best Italian beef begins and ends at Johnny's. It's a lot of people's favorite, and with good reason. It's one of my favorites. So I thought I'd bring it into the Fitzometer, put a rating on it, because a lot of times I stay away from the obvious choices that people want, but you just can't. Plus, I wanted a Johnny's Beef, so it was like,
Mr. Beef and Al's being the other two. Would you say?
Al's,
right?
Al's is definitely of like the big.
Al's is up there, yeah.
The big three in Chicago, like the largest change, you got Portillo's, Bona, and Al's. Those are the ones that you see the most out there, and I think Al's of the top of those three is the top. My ultimate favorite that it just squeaks by Johnny's is Jay's. They're they only have the one location in where is it? They're over in Norridge, I think, right on the Chicago border over in Narragansett Avenue. But Johnny's, they have the classic location on North Avenue in Elmwood Park, and then they have a sit-down restaurant in Arlington Heights, which is still good. It doesn't have the same vibe as standing outside, for 30 minutes on a hot summer night that the Elmwood Park location has, but it's still very good. But I was over at Johnny's last night, and it did not disappoint.
All right, here we go.
Johnny's Italian Beef. Just a stone's throw from the Chicago border, and the town of Elmwood Park is one of the best Italian beefs around. Johnny's Beef at 7500 West North Avenue has been serving this classic Chicago sandwich since 1961. I got mine dipped, or baptized, with their hot giardiniera. Their beef is melt in your mouth, tender and tasty, and is perfectly complemented by their giardiniera however you like it. No trip to Johnny's is complete without an order of their fresh and delicious Italian lemonade. It's a must. And don't forget, Johnny's is cash only. For some, the Italian beef debate begins and ends at Johnny's. Johnny's is definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer and gets a 340 on the Fitzometer. That's Johnny's Beef at 7500 West North Avenue in Elmwood Park, Illinois. Where should I eat next? Comment in the replies, #FitzMagicEats, and check out all of my reviews on my YouTube channel at FitzMagicShy. So
that's the highest.
40.
So 340, and Jay's has a 340 as well. My only thing with Jay's would be their beefs are bigger, so you get more, the big in me, but like my buddy Mailman Jack, who's been in the chat a few times, he noticed my reaction to that first bite, and it was just that first bite there's something magical about it. It's like the first bite of a fresh hot pizza, or first sip of coffee in the morning. It's one of those things, and yeah, that was completely unrehearsed. So, but yeah. So yes, the people ask about the Fitzometer, and Zinni brought up a good point about it, about going back and looking at some of my rankings. If you're ever wondering where it came from, 1989, the Chicago Cubs, Sean Dunston, shortstop for the Cubs, out in the bleachers, they had the Sean-O-meter. They just put his batting average up throughout the season. So, and then a buddy of mine thought that this would be the way to go. Is Rob Wellen. It was in the south lot of the Chicago Bears game against the Carolina Panthers back in 2024, I think it was a Thursday night game. We came up with it, and ever since then, that's what we've been doing. But I need to go back and just see. Because again, it's completely non-scientific. It's just completely thrown out there. It's a fun way to rank these things, but I've got about 50 or 60 of them now, and maybe I should go back and.
I disagree though, Fitz. I think it is scientific, man. You know what I mean. That's your way of doing it. You know what I mean. It's scientific in that regard.
Yeah. I tell people a base is 300. That means I like it. And then it goes from there.
So John, great. You said cash only. That's helpful.
Yeah, that's very helpful.
With your debit card or iPhone, Apple Pay.
Does something like cash only factor into the Fitzometer? Or is it purely just the food?
Honestly, a cash only kind of like maybe gives it another 1 or 2 points up, because I have yet to be to a bad cash only place in Chicago.
What would be like your Ted Williams 400 season as a food stop?
Gosh, I don't know. I don't.
You'll know it when you taste it.
I guess so. It's like I guess like with Chicago food, it's like, okay, you've got great beefs. That's one ranking in there. You've got great pizzas. You've got great deep dish. You've got great thin crust. You've got great pizza puffs. You've got this. I don't know. And now it's like sometimes I feel like I've maybe boxed myself in with things. With the rankings. So maybe just something just to sort of reevaluate. How I go about it, but I never thought it would get to this point anyway. So
Manny's cash only.
Manny's. What do you? Oh, the deli.
Deli, yeah.
It's been a minute since I've been there. I don't.
Hot pastrami is like the best.
I guess I got to go back.
The pastrami at Manny's is like the apex predator of.
It's literally like
It's so good, man. That's sinful. You're like feel like you got to go to confession after eating the pastrami.
Right.
The Italian lemonade there's just one flavor, right? At Johnny's.
Yeah, they just. You want to talk about no frills? Johnny's is it. I don't know if you can go back and just look at the menu board. They don't have Coke. They don't have Pepsi. They don't have RC. They have cola, Diet Cola. And I think it was like lemon lime.
Like Jules Cola.
Yeah,
they're going to Costco and buying it by the barrel.
Right. Or they get that old Sweet Valley from Aldi used to sell.
Sam's Choice. Whatever.
Dr. K.
Right.
It's like you go to Freddy's in Cicero. It's like 39th.
Yeah.
Freddy's is like their Italian lemonade is awesome. They have a bunch of different flavors, man.
Yeah, there's very little on the menu at Johnny's. You get the beefs, you got a sausage, you got hot dogs.
How much is
Polish
the beef?
And tamales? I think that's about it.
How much are the beef going for these days?
The beef is $7.
Well, that's not bad.
Not really, no.
What is it, like 8 inches, 6 inches?
That's got to be 6-inch beef, I think. Yeah, like I said, it's a little smaller than some of them. Like Jay's is a big one. There's Frangella's, this Italian market. I swear it's like a 10-inch beef is the regular size. It's enormous.
We could get sweet peppers too. Like
I get the hot peppers. I get hot jardinera.
Hot
That's
jardinera.
Yep.
Do they have like sweet green peppers?
Oh yeah, you get the sweet. Yep.
Pepper and egg too, if I remember right.
They do have a pepper and egg on Fridays only at Johnny's.
Fridays. Okay.
Now, how do you guys feel? And I'm sure I've asked this before, but how do you guys feel about the combo sandwich with the sausage and the beef?
Oh,
to me, like that's where
I love it.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah,
that's it. Okay. I just got to be clear. I know there's some people that are like, it's sacrilege. Don't put a sausage in my. And I'm like, no. Like, are you kidding me?
Throw it all on there.
What are they, denture wearers?
I like the sausage at Bona. The Bona combo is really good.
Yeah.
Bona beef.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, my issue is, I learned this trick because my mom has the restaurant. So people came in, they gave us their preferences. They'd tell us things all the time. We had this one regular, Sean. And his name sticks out to me because his order was so unique, and he'd always order a combo, but he'd get it with cheese and he'd get it with hot peppers, and he'd ask that we put it in the middle of the sandwich rather than on top of the sandwich.
Put what in the middle? What
the cheese and the peppers in the middle of the sandwich rather than on the top of the sandwich. Because if you put it on top of the sandwich, you only get it when you bite the top of the sandwich, and then the bottom is just whatever. But if you put it in the middle of the sandwich, you get it in both the top and the bottom. And like when I'm making my own sandwich, like of course I'm going to do it that way every time. But when I go somewhere, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be a pain in the ass, man. Not to mention you go to a place like Johnny's, they'll probably throw something at you if you ask them to do.
Yeah, they are very efficient. I mean,
on
a hot summer night, you'll see that line go, clear out the building and around the corner, but it won't take long.
Right.
I mean, I tell people like they say, "Well, I go by there and the line's too long." I'm like, don't let that scare you. That's not going to take that long. I mean, you're in probably 15 minutes, maybe you'll have it. But yeah, they're Johnny's is very efficient in how they get their food out. It's quick. I mean,
and they got other stuff there too. I can't remember. They have pizza puff or no?
They do not have a pizza puff there.
Oh,
pizza puffs take too long for a place like Johnny's.
Yeah.
All right. Fries are the only thing they deep fry there. So
okay.
And all the hot dogs and Polishes come with fries. So that
right. Hot dogs. They got hot dog. No burger, if I remember.
No burgers there.
No burger. Right. Okay. That's what I thought. Yep. It's been a long time since I've been there.
Yeah, it's what's
that other place? It's not in Elmwood Park, but it's not far. That Gene and Jude's.
Gene and Jude's. Yep, that's in River Grove.
River Grove, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's near the parks, Franklin Park and Elmwood Park, and
that's only probably 10, 15
Did you do a
minutes
Gene and Jude review?
Yes, I did last summer for National Hot Dog Day.
Nice. I got to check that.
Last July.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I actually went there. I just gotten off the plane and we just come back from Miami and we stopped there on the way home. That's
it's a great spot if you're out by O'Hare. Like
it is. Yeah.
The Bears 100, a bunch of us from Barroom and Barflies and others went to Bears 100, and there were a bunch of were going to Gene and Jude's after. I didn't get a chance, so I had to go. I had to be somewhere else. But they have like the mother-in-law, right? Which is like a tamale and a hot dog bun, something like that, right? That was called the mother-in-law, right?
Tamale and a hot dog bun, especially like mustard, onion, celery salt. That's all you need on that thing.
Yeah.
Gene and Jude's and Johnny's, as far as hot dogs, they do the depression dog. So you don't get tomatoes.
With the fries.
With the fries, and it's onion, the relish, and the pickle, and mustard, and all in the bag. So you don't get the tomato on that one.
All right,
still just as good. Just
That's fine. Yeah,
it's delicious.
I'm hungry now. I was like, I ate 2 before. I was like, I'm going to eat, so I'm not hungry during Fitz's video, but it didn't work.
You don't all May. I'll do beef places.
We got a hot dog cart that's opening up for the summer in my small town, and he's doing Chicago dogs. And being the critic that I am, and a technical,
just a guy with the cart, right?
Yeah, just a guy with the cart. And me, like, I don't know if I was considered a member or not, but like adjacent to the Vienna Beef Hall of Fame, like. It was so awesome to see, like, my tiny little town. This guy's got Vienna beef dogs and Vienna beef poppy seed buns at his stand that he's pushing around. I was like, okay, if I get the itch, I've got a spot to go to now.
Yeah.
I bought some Hebrew Nationals out here. We don't have Vienna beef out here.
Those are good too.
And I got Hebrew National. I'm like, these don't taste the same. Then I was like, my son was like, yeah, I think they changed the recipe. You have to get the one with the K on it, the kosher. So I did. Yes. I went and got one that I found the K at Costco, and I'm like, bought some. I'm like, yep.
The flavor is way better, but they don't snap like the Vienna dogs. That's the big thing.
Snap.
And remember,
the Vienna dogs are just the casing on them. First of all, it's disgusting if you're not used to it. Second of all, it's unbeatable if you love it.
Right. Remember, Vienna beef hot dogs are different than most hot dogs. They're made from bull meat and not cow.
Mm-hmm.
That gives it that redder. It's a leaner beef, so they have a different fat content.
Yep,
they do. So
very good. All right, fellas.
Nice.
About to get out of here. I don't know if I've seen anything really. I've been so busy with work and stuff, and
I finished Maul Shadow Lord.
Maul, yeah. How did it end up? I'm only on episode 3 still.
It finishes very well, and they better bring out a second season. I mean, the way it finished, but the last 2 episodes were very good. So.
Nice.
So won't give anything away or anything like. But yeah, it was a good series. Good 10 episodes, and we got some Darth Vader in the last 2 episodes, so I was happy.
Nice.
Right. Yeah,
I don't know if you guys have any suggestions for me, but as long as we're on the topic of shows and movies and things of that nature, a game that has really been taking over my spare time lately is a game called Windrose, which is a pirate survival game. It's all about, being stranded on an island, having to survive, craft your own supplies, build a ship, see battles, explore the area, so on and so forth. And in addition to that, Assassin's Creed Black Flag has announced that they are remastering it effectively and re-releasing it this summer. Wow. And I am guaranteeing that's going to take up a ton of my time. You guys can't see it, but just over here to my left, I have a giant Assassin's Creed flag from the Assassin's Creed Black Flag game hanging on my wall. It is one of my favorite games of all time. Nice. And all this to say, I love pirate shit, man. Like, why don't we have a good pirate series other than Pirates of the Caribbean, which was only good for, 3 movies at best, and then completely overstayed its welcome? I would love a good pirate show. Something along the lines of like Vikings, but pirates.
That's a good point. I don't know why no one's taken on that genre. I'd like to see it. I have no idea what you were talking about with those games, but I would like to see. I would definitely like to see.
Yeah, Danikin said there's a Warriors game.
That was a long time ago. That was back on like PS2 maybe?
Wow.
I think it was a Warriors game. It was pretty good.
Crazy.
I used to play it.
Yeah, I miss playing video games. I don't have time right now. I'm like struggling with yard work. That's where all my time goes now. It's like I'm trying to like we have like the front of the house. There's that little spot where you usually put some stone and shrubs and stuff.
Yep.
And it's like the previous owner had let it go to pot, and I'm like, my wife and I did some stuff. We're trying, but the weeds, prairie grass, all the weeds, and I got little tiny maple trees from the helicopters landing in there. So I'm like, my son and I were out there. We're like, let's just nuke everything. We're gonna knock it down, pack it up.
You don't got to tell me, man.
Plastic down and stone and just kill everything. That's what I've been doing, man. It's like every, and then I didn't get the lawn treatment. Next year I will, though, because then the dandelions came up after all that rain. Your yard looks like a redneck palace.
That's what my next door neighbor's yard looks like right now. We had a similar situation. There was a bunch of mulch and like it was flower bed and everything. And every year the weeds would get knee high. And the last 2 years I'd mow them down, 3-4 times a summer, and they just come back relentless.
Yep.
So this year, wife and I have spent the last 3 weekends out there, just taking it all out, rolling up all the old stuff, laying down the fresh weed blocker, killing everything underneath it, and laying down stone.
8 inches of snow. What is it in Colorado?
Where's that?
Colorado had snow. I know that. Nebraska.
Yeah, a bunch of my friends out in Colorado mentioned snow. So up in the mountains, man, they're still getting it. It's crazy. I mean, you guys know I'm from Colorado. We got snow as late as July some years and as early as August other years. So I have seen it snow all 12 months of the year. Being in the Denver suburbs, it's insane, man.
Wow.
It is crazy.
You know, D. Starren mentions his tomatoes might freeze. Something I was going to mention to you guys. We with all of our renovations in the front yard, we've started planting peppers. I want to try to make my own hot sauce this summer.
Yeah.
So if I get it done, I'll have to see if I can send some to you.
I had delicious jalapenos last year. They weren't too spicy and they weren't too mild. They were just right for eating. That was great. Foothills of Colorado for PZ. It's known. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, I probably knew where I was.
Burger the other day with jalapenos on it, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Try some guacamole and jalapenos together on your burger, man.
Yeah, always put
you won't regret it.
I had this burger. I had grilled mushrooms, grilled onions, grilled jalapenos, and A1 steak sauce.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
that was good.
That sounds fucking awesome.
You got to remember, man. I just spent the last year working at a burger place. There's no combination you're gonna say that doesn't sound good to me at this point.
Oh man, bacon guacamole is like up there for me having a burger. Bacon and guacamole.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I made a awesome BLT with a nice toasting bread, sourdough, really fresh, beautiful tomatoes, nice lettuce, thick cut bacon, and then a little bit of avocado slices and some nice mayo.
We got a plan. We got a plan. That just reminds me when we're talking about these sandwiches and stuff.
I know.
We got a plan, like a little draft of.
Yep, I know. I gotta make. I'm working on the graphic.
Sandwiches.
It ain't easy though.
You know
the graphics.
Yeah. See who has the best starting five.
There will be no losers. That's
no losers. Sandwich draft. All right, fellas, go around to Horn for some last thoughts before we get out of here. Zim, why don't you start us off? You got the FGB hat. Talibrand shouted you out too.
Yes. Sorry, I was responding to something in chat there. I didn't want my loud keyboard making a bunch of noise there. I was on mute. I made the rounds on Twitter this week. Funny enough, Bears fans didn't really pick it up that much. Packers fans and their fragile little egos could not handle the fact that I was wearing a hat that said FGB.
Yep.
And in fact, the most disparaging thing they could say to me is that I looked like a woman. And frankly, if that's the worst you got from me, I'll take it, man.
That's all I got in Wisconsin. Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, it just goes to show how dumb they are, doesn't it? You know, if they think that I look like a woman, it just goes to show that the only women they've ever met are their moms and their sisters, and they got to date one of them. So
that made them tough in Titletown, but I guess not.
Yeah, in Titletown, USA, man. What can we say? I thought it was hilarious. I got a good kick out of it. I had to mute it after a little bit. It was just getting annoying at a certain point. But holy Moses, Talibrand, thank you very much. I'm wearing the gear today, the CHI, good, better, best right there, man. I love this thing. It's got if I can get the hair out of the way, the hair's going away soon, boys. It says FGB all on the inside of the hood there.
Nice. I did not see that. I missed that one.
Yeah, it's a nice little Easter egg on it. Yeah. But no, absolute massive shout out to Talibrand. Rob sent me a nice little care package along with everything, hooked me up a little bit. He absolutely did not have to do that, but he's been a great friend of the network since I've discovered him, and we had a little collaboration with him for a little while. If you guys want to keep supporting him, it's Talibrand on Twitter. I believe it's just talibrand.com if you want to find some FGB gear, stuff like that. He's got all kinds of cool stuff. You know, this is not a paid endorsement. I genuinely just love his stuff. He's not sponsored. He's not asking us to do this. I just think he makes a good product. I'm wearing the shirt right now because it's genuinely comfortable and well made. So I know it sounds like an ad. I'm never going to convince you guys it's not, but I swear it's not. But yeah, hey, that's my shout outs. Thank you, Green Bay Twitter, for getting the rounds on Talibrand, a brand that I believe in.
Love it.
All right. Fitz.
Yeah. I'll follow up the shout out to Talibrand. Love what he's doing over there. Shout out to the folks in the chat tonight. Another great show. Shout out to you, fine gentlemen, for having me on. Shout out to Johnny's for always coming through with the beefs. And shout out, I went to one Wednesdays is a free day at the Field Museum in Chicago, with the
cool.
dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, after you pay $32 to park, you
Field Museum that now currently has a massive Pokemon exhibit for the next year.
Yes.
By the way, sorry, I'm super excited about
right.
that. I'm probably going to be heading out to Chicago to see it.
Okay. Well, when you're in town, let me know, because I had no interest in the Pokemon thing. But no, so had a great day. Went to Chinatown for lunch and had
okay. Where in Chinatown?
We ate at my was it MCCB, my Chinese cookbook. It's
nice.
I've actually heard of them.
Love Chinatown.
Yeah, it was delicious. Had the best orange chicken I've ever had.
Was it the new Chinatown section or the old?
It's the new Chinatown.
New Chinatown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had a great day. So shout out to my daughters for.
If I recall right, there's a tailgating lot not far from there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you park in Chinatown, the shuttle will take you to the ballpark too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chinatown's a great spot to just spend the day. So
great restaurants, by the way.
Yeah. So we had a great day. Shout out to my daughter for putting that together, and just love doing this every week, guys. And like I said, it's National Italian Beef Month. So next week I'll have another beef play.
I'm gonna make some Italian beef, I think.
Okay. And I'll be posting some of the ones I've already done. So and check them all out on Fitzmagic Shy on YouTube. And let's have a great week.
That's what's up, man.
All right, Daniken.
Shout out to you guys, of course. The chat, always nice to see you guys in there. I didn't get to say anything in there today, but I will next week. Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate everybody. Shout out to Three Kings of the Midway podcast. We dropped an episode last week. We'll be doing another one here coming up soon.
I love
so yeah, man, just a lot of stuff. And shout out to Fitz too, man. You had me laughing last week when we were talking about Apex, right? And then you went and watched.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I watched.
Recovering from that.
Yes, I watched it too.
My wife and I both went. Should we continue or should we do this tomorrow? She's like, no, we're in it. We're gonna finish this movie. So.
Crazy movie. It was good though.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, that's just the first 10 minutes of it. We were already. Anxiety was way high. So.
Yep.
All right, fellas, want to thank you guys for making the conversation a lot of fun tonight. It was hard for me to put together stuff in the off season, but we got a lot of good convo out of it, man. I want to shout out Aldo for the work behind the scenes and keeping the network going for everybody. Tally Brands, of course, for the great gear. The chat room for all the great chat. And that's it for this week, man. We'll see you guys next week. All right.
And the rest of the shows on the network, too.
The rest of the shows, yep. Coming back soon, yep. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.